Hi, I'm Tom Lippincott, and welcome to Melodic Minor Complete. Today we are going to be exploring the melodic minor scale in great detail. This is a two-part class. The first half of this class, part one, is going to mainly cover theoretical concepts. One other thing I'll mention before we get started is why am I doing a melodic minor class in the first place? I actually avoided this for a long time because I kind of thought there was plenty of stuff out there already about it. In the process of doing these classes, I've had several requests to do a melodic minor class, and I finally decided that why not go ahead and put my own spin on it. One of the things that I do like to do with any subject that I cover in one of these classes is to approach it in a real systematic and logical and expansive kind of a way, and I thought that was one area that maybe I might have something to offer with the melodic minor scale. So my idea with this, making it a two-part class, the first one covers the theory aspect of things, and the second one covers putting that into practice. This, as you can see, is an 8-string guitar. However, the inner 6 strings are the same as a regular guitar, E, A, D, G, B, E. Same as any other regular 6-string guitar. So anything that I play on the inner 6 strings, the shapes will look exactly like it does on your guitar, so it's not like it's some different thing that you won't be able to figure out what I'm doing. We can also compare it to a major scale. If I play C major, all I have to do is lower the E to E flat, and I get a C jazz melodic minor, or ascending melodic minor scale. And that's generally the way I like to think of the scale, is like a major scale with a lowered third. And that gives me a little bit of variety. So instead of getting this boring kind of all the same C major, I get these different colors. So we get this complexity. And that's basically the point that I want to make, is that's how the melodic minor scale gets used. So it's not like the major scale where we don't have tunes that are in the key of C melodic minor where we take the 1 chord and the 4 chord and the 3 chord and put them together and build a tune. It's more arbitrary. And this is done in both major and minor keys. There are just places that musicians over the years have found that, oh wow, if I take this melodic minor scale, it's actually got enough notes in common with what I normally would play over this major scale or key, or this minor key, and kind of crowbar it in there, and there's enough in common that it kind of has a continuity to it that makes sense, but there's also enough variety that we get this, ooh, I wasn't quite expecting to hear that. Page 2, we're going to go through all 7 of the melodic minor modes. We'll talk about the structure, the chords that we get with them, and the other notes, the color tones or upper extensions. I end up with a shell voicing for B7. There's no 5th, but there's root, 3rd, and 7th. And then I got all these really crazy upper extensions, flat 9, sharp 9, sharp 11, flat 13. Real, like, we threw in everything but the kitchen sink, and then threw in the kitchen sink too, right? We get the most dissonance kind of possible on a dominant chord. I'm going to play a C minor major 7 chord, and then I'm going to arpeggiate an E flat major 7 sharp 5. It's a really cool sort of streamlined way to play the melodic minor sound. So that can be really useful. Now, the same thing works for all 7 modes, believe it or not. I can use that same upper structure and vary the bass note to get great chord voicings for each one of those modes. It's one thing to understand this theory and say, oh, okay, I know how to play a melodic minor scale, so now I can plug in the right scale at the right time and get that cool sound, and now I'm done. That's only the tip of the iceberg. You really need to get more inside of it, learn how each note functions against each chord that you're using it over in the long run. You don't have to worry about that, right at the very beginning. That's kind of overwhelming to think about all this stuff. But don't give up, or don't sort of stop when you get to the point where you can just play a melodic minor scale over a certain chord and make it sound cool. Then go through and really get inside of it and figure out everything about it that you can. Okay, so finally here at the end of this class, I'm going to give some sort of real-world examples of different uses of the melodic minor that we've already talked about. And now these aren't meant to be really hip, modern-sounding licks like I have done in some of my other classes. These are actually intentionally meant to sound very generic and just like the basic kind of vocabulary that you would apply to the melodic minor scale. So the format that I've done is I wrote a lick that would be over a given chord progression without the melodic minor sound applied, and that one in some way sometimes is actually going to sound really boring. And then I gave a second example of that same lick with a particular melodic minor concept applied to it.